If you had a message for any of those kids out there that are working out there and they're not really behaving too good, they're not helping, they're throwing stuff around, if you had a message for them in your own language and they could figure out how to translate that themselves, what would you say to them?
In my own language. Ni chepta imish, ni chepta yais, lalmasat chepta, nichta yais. Kach lamo kha, and then yais alap. Slatlam kun so sicialat and schalawan, kun snitcha yais. Nistita khuzat at swalap, lalmasat. I am child. Nishin schwalat na quail. Haichka.
The trail is really bringing a balance to our students because they need to be connected to the land.
So when you're making a trail, it's really, really important to know where you started and where you're going. Because if we don't know where we're going, then how would we make the trail, right? Okay. So what I'd like to do, you guys, is we're gonna go for a little walk, and I'm gonna show you where the trail's going, because we can't really work on the trail if we don't know where we're going. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it look like I did any chain sawing?
No.
Okay. So then that basically means that up until this point, we know exactly where we're going, back to the fire, and going this way, we don't. I know this is a lot of talking, but it's important. So we know where the trail starts, we know where the trail finishes. Now in between, this is the fun part. Are you listening, Jeffrey? This is the fun part now where we get to decide where the trail goes, and the only thing helping us decide it is what we think looks like the most fun. So what we'll do now is we'll walk a little ways, and you guys, I just want you guys to walk through here and see if you decide on a route that really makes sense to you.
Help work on the trail. I love helping on the trail.
When the kids are working on the trail, it's a very fluid thing. If they want the trail to go left when I had it planned to go right because there's a really big tree they like, then we go that way. And then what happens is the kids feel proud of themselves because that's their piece of trail and that's their tree. And the reason the trail goes to that tree is because they said they wanted it to be that way.
Oh.
What do you call that? I call that prying on it.
Oh, a wedgie.
Oh, yeah.
Wedgie! Whoa.
Nice. Oh, that would be so bad if there was beehives on here. What's that, bird poo? This is Tyrell. He's Trail Lord number 2. I'm Trail Lord number 1. He's doing his apprenticeship to become Trail Lord number 1, but he's got to do like 20 years or something of work, and then he might be able to become Trail Lord number 1. My name's Riley McIntosh. I'm from Maple Mountain, Vancouver Island. And for the last 5 years, I've been working with First Nations youth, building trails out in the woods. I started mountain biking when I was 9 years old. I started trail building shortly after. I lived in the Kootenay region of British Columbia, and there I got really involved with trail building and bike films and all sorts of stuff. In Cowichan, I started a society called the Cowichan Trail Stewardship Society. So I've been really involved in mountain biking for over 20 years. Definitely working with these First Nation kids on their land, building trails with them is by far the coolest thing I've ever done, like a million times. Working on a reserve as a Hwuy'xwet, which is a non-Indigenous person, there's many elements to that, but for me, I look at what I'm trying to do, which is just to be a good person and have good experiences with all the people around me. The main point of the work that I do is around community health. The goal is for children to learn skills together that are going to help them in their life. And the secondary goal is that the work those kids do contributes to their community. In 2018, Penelakut tribe contacted me, and in September of 2018, we started work there. We are building trails on the island. It's a community health initiative, and all of the students in the elementary school are working on the trail.
The out on the land activities before the trail really weren't existing. So that's where the trail is really brought home. It's also something I believe that students need to be out on the land. They need to be involved with their territories if they're really fully going to understand what their history is and who they are as Penelakut people. Riley's outstanding with the kids. In the morning when he's on that ferry, there's students that go to him. He walks to a classroom, see students ring, "Hi, Riley." So when you see that connection, you know that connection has been made between an adult and a student. I started morning activities with the students, and then Riley took it on. And I just believe the students need to come into the school and not just come in, oh, here's the door, line up, come into the school. They need to ease into their day and get a chance to connect with an adult and just enjoy school.
Good morning, Penelakut Island Elementary School. There's an opening dance ceremony for the new trail today. We are having baked potatoes and bologna for lunch. Thank you for listening.
Our children get caught in the two worlds, that they forget that they came from the native world. But we're losing that as Native people. We're losing that teachings of our way. And because we don't tend to pull our children our way so they can forget the education, we need that education for them to go to get jobs in the future.
Our beliefs as Penelakut people, as Cowichan people, is that we all are related. So the trees are our relatives, the animals, the birds, the water, the air, we're all related, and that we need to live in balance. Hwuy'xwet. I live here on Penelakut. Originally was from Cowichan. Back then our children didn't believe that they were Indians. They'd go to school and say, "Those people are calling me Indian." And I said, "Well, you are an Indian." We were the stewards of the land, and I think that will come back as well, that we show respect for Mother Nature and what she does out there. She's a powerful, powerful person. The kids will learn when they're out there just through observation. I think it's going to be it's a huge impact, I believe, on the island.
This is so unique because we have the school there, the Western School, education. We have the First Nation school here, the trees, our environment. When I was going to the boarding school, the residential school, we did not have any of this. We had a lot of religion, a lot of discipline enforced on us, but none of who we are. This is our culture. Don't ever lose your connection with this forest. This is who we are. Mother Earth. We belong to Mother Earth. Respect Mother Earth. She will respect you. We become a prisoner in our own home, glued to the Facebook, glued to the TV, glued to the music. bringing all these families out to the trail, these young children, it's all positive. This trail is positive. The school is positive. And the negatives will always be there because I'm here from the history of the residential school. But the positives are there. Dwell on the positives. Move forward.
What I try and do out in the forest with the kids is really have fun. I think that's the biggest thing that I have to offer them, is that I just really love building trails. We could have a quick meeting because we don't have too much time and we got to do lots of work on the trail, right? So this is what we're going to do, you guys. We're going to talk about safety, then we're going to go on a walk and I'm going to show you where the trail's going, and then we're going to do work.
Riley.
Does that sound good?
Ah! You smell my stinky shoes.
So when we're using the tools, we just have to be real careful. We don't run with the tools, okay? And we give each other lots of room so that we don't turn around and accidentally hit somebody with the tool, right? We're gonna work in between the fire and these stumps today. I don't want anyone to go past them. We have to stay together and be a team, okay?
We're gonna work hard again.
To use your hands-on experience is very neat. I'm very happy to see it because you take ownership of what you're doing. You are part of what happened. You can't teach trail building in the classroom. It's happening here.
I have students that you try to put a sterile environment with a book and paper, and they struggle, and then they get out in the land and they just come back with a big beaming on their face. And that's one of our big things that we need to instill in our children, is that sense that, hey, I do work hard, I accomplish.
Riley! Look, that stranger I just broke.
Holy, from an alder tree.
Probably this one.
I've had people tell me kids shouldn't be doing work and they're not old enough to be doing that. What I really believe is that no matter where you are in your life, you are able to contribute something, no matter what your background is or no matter what the difficulties you're dealing with are. And I think starting young is ideal because the kids are so receptive to anything interesting and they want to learn and they want to have fun.
Oh, that's actually good, Riley.
I know. Ethan, come on back. Bring your tool.
Well, I got a root out of the tree.
Thank you. Here,
You're welcome.
look. Thank you for your hard work. Shake hands. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was awesome.
Riley is making a connection, and right now he's working with one of our students that's had a difficulty making connections, especially with adults.
And you also want it so, like, say if it's like this, that's just gonna burn a bit and then it's gonna fall down. But if you put it up like this, it'll burn and fall in. You know what I mean? It's kind of like pickup sticks. Like, try and put it in a way that where it's not gonna slip out. Like if you put this one here over to that, it'll probably stay. And then where do you think's a smart place to put that one? Decent. Then you need to find the lighter. Light it in a few places, nice and low. Perfect spot, perfect spot. Then maybe I'll try one like on the other side. Oh, my finger hurts from where I got hit by that crab. Sometimes you kind of like open it up, trying to let more oxygen get to it, and you can sort of move the pieces around as you go. Try it. If you put your leg like that, grab it with 2 hands, and then you just break it over your knee. I think if you took any child from anywhere into the woods and said, we're gonna make a circle of rocks and then we're gonna light a fire in that circle, I think any child would be really interested in that. We're way off the trail though. But it's worth it because this cedar is even nicer than that other cedar we just cut. This is really nice. So I'm pretty sure if you hit it here, it should split like this, on this side of this knot. Go Tyra. Oh! Oh, smell it. That's nice. Put that in your bedroom, and you'll make your bedroom smell good. The personal interest for me is that I've been building trails since I was 9 years old. It's something I've always come back to no matter what else I did in my life. I was always building trails on the side or for work, and it's always been the thing that helped me feel good about myself, was to be out in the forest and to really connect to something bigger than myself. Once I started working with kids outside, I really started to see that same thing happening for them that I had experienced myself, and it's a really addictive thing to be doing because I kind of felt like I had something to offer them.
The new trail, they have a new bridge there, and it leads to my house. I live in a trail, not this trail. I live in another trail beside my Mama's house. My favorite part is biking around at school. Yeah. 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 I like biking on the trails because I can ask some of my friends and family to come on the trail with me.
It's something for the children to do outside the home. It's better for their mind, their soul, their spirit to be walking out in the trail.
Are we gonna interview me biking?
I really like to have that trail done so not only the children can use it, the adults as well. People that still can walk, you know, it'll be good for them to walk that trail. It's something different that Penelakut's never had. And it made me happy when I was one of the first ones asked to go and help with a trail, which I did, I and my husband. It gives me a good feeling that I started something even though I couldn't finish it. I'm getting too old.
That's where I was born, down here. I was born there. I wasn't born at a hospital. I was born down a beach here. That's why I lived down here a lot of years. I had no house. I had to live in that little 30-foot square place. I walked along there when my brother had some deer meat, and they had to clean it out on a trail. And I went out there and I was explaining to the kids to watch, because nobody's going to show them how to skin deer after and how to butcher it while it's hanging. So you pay attention now, because it might be the last time you see a deer getting skinned. That was last year. They even cleaned ducks out there, plucked ducks, and showed them how to burn it and how to butcher it. So that was part of the kids' training, to be out on that trail.
If you're going to work in a place where you're dealing with people's grandkids and kids and great-grandkids, I think it only makes sense that you're going to be consulting with the parents and grandparents. And I think that should happen in any community, whether it's First Nations or not. And I think you can't really learn about a community, and you can't really tailor your work to the community's needs or wants without asking what people need or want. What I do to work with that is I constantly message people that I'm friends with and that I'm getting to know, elders, parents, cousins, all sorts of people that are related to the kids who I become friends with, and then I just check in with them. I say, hey, I'm thinking of doing this on the trail tomorrow. What do you think? And I just am constantly asking questions. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Think this sounds okay? And then I just follow their guidance. And I get a lot of advice from a lot of people, and it's been essential to the work. A really special thing about Penelakut Island is that it's a small island covered in forest, and everyone lives close to the forest. So if we fill that island with trails, the proximity is so close that they don't need to depend on their parents to get a ride there. They can ride right from their house. For some of the kids, to hit the start of the first trail we built is literally under 30 seconds from their front door. There's not very many people in Canada that have that opportunity where you can just put on your helmet, I'm gonna go hit the trail. I think that's one of the biggest opportunities for success we have, is that we're building trails that are very, very usable for the community.
I have the title president of the elementary school. The trail is a good place to get away from stress, technology. I find this place as a medicine.
Once we started building a nice trail with nice dirt and nice surface, they took off. And I feel like the kids are just totally geared to have fun out there, and they have a whole island full of forest, so it's kind of the ultimate place to build trails, really.
Well, you can't just wander anywhere. There are Bigfoot here, and it is quite dangerous sometimes. You can't really climb tall trees. Some of them aren't very stable anymore. And go try the trail. It's amazing.
What do we see on the trail? Made by Derek. We see a tree that looks kind of like a dancing monkey. Seriously, it does. We see a fire. A campfire. We see a tree with tentacles. We see a snake tree. We see a tree with a belly button. Just kind of like a belly button. That's the end.
My husband says, I need you to go out and watch the grandchildren. I said, I have a hard time just getting off the truck sometimes and walking into my house. And he says, please go watch the grandchildren. And I said, well, who's all going to be there? And he said, all the grandchildren. And I said, oh my gosh. My traditional name is Sha'altanat. Both my mom and father came from Penelakut, and I have 5 grandchildren that are working on a trail.
I already say sage, cedar,
Sage and cedar and lavender. Yeah. We're going to bless the trail with this.
Did you make this?
Hey, everyone, thank you for coming. What we're going to try and do is just have a little dance ceremony to sort of open the work on the new trail, because we just started the new trail. This is the entrance gate for the new trail.
We're going to bless the trail this way, so it'll be going forward. Anybody else want to give some blessing? Yeah? Come on. Here. Okay, we'll let one verse of the prayer song go, and then we'll start the spreading. Okay?
Then when I start drumming again, you guys start dancing again. Okay? This is a song that we made to open up the trail with the trail song, we called it. Hwuy'xwet.
You know, in this trail, We're not the only ones walking it. My ancestors are walking it, and my future grandchildren are going to be walking it. That's why I laid down the medicine. I'm a First Nations person. I have an education. There's no one way or the other. It all has to blend and mix together, and hopefully in a good way. There needs to be a balance. You see, I live my traditional life, but I also know how to survive in the white man world.
They hold this First Nations history, and that's who they are, and that's their identity. But we're also dealing with modernization and colonization, and time is moving on. So I think for these kids to really understand who they are from the start and to feel that sense of place out on their land is just a critical thing, so that they have a base and a foundation of feeling good about themselves for the rest of their life.
I don't want my grandkids to miss out on what you're teaching them. You take my grandkids up the mountains and bike ride up there. Nobody's done that for them. You've taken them to other communities to help other people with their trail. They're making connections. They're meeting other people, and they're helping.
Kind of learn to like judge how much air you have in there. Like I'd say that's plenty. It's like pretty dry out, so it's like the ground's kind of slippery right now. So you don't want too much air. On Penelakut last spring, we kind of like very organically started this bike club. All of a sudden we were doing 2 rides a week, and we were doing everything we could to try and fix kids' bikes, get them new bikes. And it was super fun. And we did all these, we just called them adventure rides. We'd like ride to locations, and then we'd ditch our bikes and go beach combing and look for crabs.
The bike club, when I first heard of it, I thought, bikes in the trail, that's defeating the purpose. That is defeating the purpose. I thought it was so wrong to allow bikes and what have you on the trail. We are people of the water. We paddled on the water. We paddled all over. We paddled in our canoes. That was our main transportation. I didn't think this would ever be possible. Mountain bikes for the people with mountains over there, you know? As I watched it work out, it was a fantastic idea. The kids were getting exercise. They were getting fresh air. They were being one with Mother Earth.
It's been so amazing to see the kids progress from like barely being able to ride to actually riding the trail that they built. I think that there's something about creating something yourself and then using it that really connects the dots. I had a kid say something like, "Hey Riley, we get to build this trail and have fun building this trail. Then we get to ride this trail and have fun riding this trail." And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. You know, and it's just like to make that connection that it's like, hey, I worked hard to make this thing, now I'm having fun on it. That hits all the points for me.
I look on Facebook, I see the children posting about riding their bikes. I see parents posting, I need a bike. Me and my husband need a bike. Me and my wife need a bike. This was never any discussion up until the trail was built. Nobody required a bike because didn't exist.
Catching the bug is a pretty common term, and I definitely think they have. And the big battle now is going to be to figure out a way to get them all bikes, decent mountain bikes. We got to ride that new section of the new trail. It was sweet.
Being a part of the family, all the kids in the bike group, they're a part of a big family now. I know Riley does a lot of good with trying to find dollars for the children to have a bike and to have a helmet because they want to belong and they want to get out there. But how can they if they don't have a bike?
They leave the house and they're all excited to be on a trail, all excited to be out of the house. They're all excited to be out in the wilderness. They're all excited to be with Riley, and they have a shovel in their hand, a pick in their hand, and they're cleaning the trail, and it shows on their face that they're so happy. They're just so happy.
My long-term goals on Penelakut Island are to build a trail right around the whole island and to keep that Storm Riders Bike Club going and growing. Hopefully one day I go back there years and years later and there's like all these kids I've never met riding all these bikes on these trails, and there's kids riding bikes. Hey, I remember that bike. We got that bike donated and now you're riding it. That's so awesome. I want to see those things happen in the long term, and I think that we're well on our way to building something like that.
Just keep on and don't give up. Whatever makes you be happy. And I know that this trail is making them happy. I just want them not to give up on it. I just want them to keep on working, and this trail is going to be here forever after. It's another footprint that the kids are making.